No,
Okay,
we're
fuck it.
we're we're actually going live. Like we're live right now.
Oh,
Ew, oopsies. Do we need to
oops.
restart? Restart it now.
Start it over.
Hey
What's up?
everybody, welcome back. We're juiced. We just decided to go live for an hour because Ernie has to drive home from work. So we're here with you today to drive and dust. The first episode of Drive and Dust.
Hello,
Maybe it'll
welcome.
become a regular thing. Ernie will hit
hmm
me up and be like, "Yo, fool, I'm done with my work. I know you're not done with yours. Can you hop on?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure. I'll do anything." And then next thing you know, we're live. So, how are you, Uber Nester? Gonna pick up some people?
I'm doing great. Just over here Ubering, bro. You know, cardboard ain't cutting it. I had to get a couple extra shifts at work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get a couple Uber and Lyft shifts. I'm just trying to make ends meet and be able to afford to keep my extensive juice collection.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of
But
collections and building them, are you going to the casino later today? A little casino action. Take the earnings and run with it. Maybe
yeah,
get a
that
little Ilari.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds really good, bro. Because theoretically, if I could turn 200 into 400, then 400 into 800, then 800 into 1600, then 1600 into 3500, 3200. Theoretically, I'm four double ups from an Elati PSA 10. In
Mm.
theory. Now, it's kind of hard to win eight hands in a row, but that's all it would take, dude. I'm talking 15 minutes max, max. Just give me aces, aces, kings, 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 queens, aces, Elati, just like
Got
that.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
You're like a few hands away in blackjack, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, I
You're
forgot about
going all in,
blackjack.
all in, all in. You got an Elati. People don't realize it's that easy
Really
to
that simple.
become a millionaire and become the biggest Elati collector there is. Just a few
hmm
hands of blackjack, dude. Take
So
take a
I
little loan out on your house. Put it on the board. Let's
thank
go.
you. Just
Run
give it
it
a
up.
chance, run it up. But look, here's the thing, Smithers. I have really bad connection here. So if I do break up, then I guess you take over and I'll come back in or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I can just show people Yu-Gi-Oh, my Yu-Gi-Oh sub until you come back. You'll
Oof.
probably come back to like maybe one or two viewers if we're like real lucky, but
Yeah, if you're lucky.
um,
Um, Josh wants me to pick him up. Yeah, shoot me the Addy, dude. I got you, Big Derek. All right, so what do we got on the docket today, bro? I know you're nice and bothered and hot and bothered. You're still in the bunker. That's very so last week of you.
well,
Uh,
I haven't been
so
able to
what's
leave yet. The radiation is still too high. Chari, first ed Chari sold for
true?
150 yesterday, so can't really get out of here yet. Who knows? Maybe when the market picks back up.
Yeah.
What can we talk about? I mean, we were talking about some fun stuff this morning when we were just alone and not being watched by people. Um,
Alone.
very alone. We were talking about what do we where do we see ourselves in 10 years and what do we want? And the answers I felt like they were pretty similar to each other. And they both involved houses, apartments, and multiple Brazilian baddies. Am I wrong?
hmm I already have a lovely, lovely wife, great relationship that I'm very thankful to have.
Oh yeah.
But theoretical Brazilian baddies, at least two, in
Hmm.
theory.
Just for like cleaning the
Retort,
apartments,
retort.
and they're on the payroll.
No,
You know.
I was thinking a different activity, but Jake Smith,
Oh, okay. Yes.
you 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 are a hobby savant, but let me present this to the people, folks.
Okay.
You have to think ahead in life. There's something in life called retrograde analysis. Shout to the homie Retro, which means you start at the end. You start at the end result of what you want, and you work your way back to how you can get there. So the question I asked my hobby BFF, you know him as Jake Smith. I know him as Hey Bitch. Um, I was like, Jake Smith, what is my actual goals for my collection? Like, what am I selling the Elati for? What am I selling my SIGs for? Like, what is the station where we get off, pause, on the train of collecting? You know, like, what does it look like, right? What does it look like to win by collecting? And I'm not just talking about cards, right? Because you can collect properties, you can collect luxury vehicles, you can collect whatever, anything. But what is the end goal, right? Like, we're seeing Pokemon goats and production sheets come out. These people are selling because they're old, bro. They gotta sell. That's it. The time has come. So what does it look like for us? And how do we get matching beach houses in the same small key of the Florida Biscayne? Go ahead.
The most southern tip, basically the closest you can get to Cuba at this moment, right? We're trying to get as close to Cuba as possible because it's just so beautiful. Let's be honest. Florida is a great state, great place. We all want homes there. What are we all talking about? People say, "Oh, it's way too hot." Oh, a certain man with red hair or orange hair is there. Oh, the politics suck. Oh, nobody speaks English. Well, you're all wrong. The weather's great. Everything's great. Golf courses are beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. The
Food is out of
baddies are
control.
beautiful.
Baddies are out of control.
Yeah, it's not even beautiful. It's just out of control. Like it's just
Out of
chaos.
control.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
overflowing.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we get there? We were kind of talking. I'm not sure cards are the best way to get there. At least holding cards, because I guess the main argument, like, because we were talking about the Elati, we did all the math and everything, inflation and everything. Elati that's worth 3,500 is going to be worth 6,300 in 20 years if there's like no price growth at all. But like, what was your goal? Like, I know you want to collect it because it's your favorite card, but what's the number that you let it go? Like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
hoping for a life-changing number, right? Of some kind, because it's a rare out of 5,000 collectible.
No, I think, okay, so I think I wouldn't sell the Elati just because it was like one of my first grails that I really wanted that got me juiced up to do this. It's a lot like Dan's evolution box, where it like puts them in a place, I guess. Like, it makes them feel good or whatever. Not to mention, like, um, I know it's hard to find, and I'm really happy with what I paid for it. So right now I'm not even thinking about selling it. Um, Down the line, obviously everything would get sold. Like, I mean, like I said, we're seeing Akabani sell his, illustrators and stuff. Like, everything has a selling date, right? I mean, you could
Sure.
die, right? And then your kids sell it. So it's not like you can take these things with you. So I guess my question was, like, not only what's a realistic get off point, but also, is it smart to be tying up money in cardboard when there are other alternatives that have like more upside? And
Yeah.
my camera's like breaking up, dude. It's like the connection's shitty. But basically, here's my thing, right? If I bought a property right now, right? If I took the money I have in my collection, which is give or take like 75K, no flex,
Mm-hmm.
but like, if I liquidate my 75K collection and I buy a house in Austin, Texas, right now, next year, and then I find a dummy to rent it to, year, in 10
Mm-hmm.
years, that's going to outperform my collection because I'm getting not only passive income, but I'm getting the royalties, from renting it. Like, I'm making money on you, and
Mm-hmm.
the house is appreciating. Like, bro, there's no card that's going to outperform an apartment, not only utility wise, but like actually money wise. So my thing
Yeah.
is, like, if you have a collection that's worth 50K, 100K, you're losing money daily by holding it. You're losing money unless the double black swan event and some random crazy shit happens. But I don't know, Jake Smith. Like, as much as I love the Elati, I still feel like 3,500 is still hefty. Like, that's hefty.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, bro. Like, there's grails in other hobbies that are 1,200. My
Mm-hmm.
original and cut me off anytime, but I'm ranting. But my original trading card grail was Dark Magician BPT from when I was a kid. That's 1100,
That's
1200. That's
yep.
1200. I can get 3 of the cards that got me in the hobby for the Elati that, you know what I'm saying, that I have. So is the Elati overvalued at 3K? I don't think so, but also I'm biased. I love the card because when you look
Yeah.
at other Charis, they're like, bro, you can get a PSA 9 Team Rocket for like 160. So you
Yeah,
can get,
I mean, it's really hard to like look at that price. And I know we've talked endless hours. It's got to be 1,000 hours at this point on, you know, Pokemon lottery promos versus trophy cards versus all these set cards. But like 3,500 for any card is pretty insane. Like when I moved to Texas, that's what I bought my car for.
3,500 is a lot.
Like I can drive around to
Right.
anywhere I want for that amount. So, and also it's what you said was interesting about getting a property. It's like, yes, you're putting yourself, unless you pay for the whole property in cash, which is insane. But if you like 50K is a really good down payment on a house so that you can then just be making passive money off of someone else while they pay your mortgage, basically. And there's no card that does that. No one's going to pay you to put your card in their closet so that they can like have it. Like who rents cards? Maybe that's a genius business idea, having card rental. Like, hey, pay me $200 and you can enjoy my Gold Star Charizard for a week. Maybe that's a thing, but it's not a thing right now. And properties and real estate investments are, so it's definitely an interesting thing to talk about. And it's very hard to know when that Elati Chari will go up in price from where it's at right now, because there's 300 of them. Like once it goes up to 4K, there's gonna be a few people who bought in at 1K selling it. Once it goes up to 5K, just more and more supply will be filtered in. So that's the problem with holding cards and hoping cards are going to go up in value, is you're hoping that everyone else in the entire PSA pop of that grade of your card will hold on to it until you make it to the selling point you're hoping for. And as you can see, we're in the days of auctions, and that's probably not coming soon. At least that's my guess.
I mean, I can always copium a different timeline, but I I guess I just don't want to lie to myself about things, and I want to be realistic. Because like I said, the Elati, I guess we're just using it as an example at this point, but we can use a different card. We can use a card that maybe I don't like as much, right? Because that one I guess has sentimental value, and I want to hang on to it and always want to have a copy. But maybe what I'll do is I'll sell the 10 and get a raw one. That's another option. Like if the 10s really
Yeah.
go crazy, I'll just sell the 10 and get a raw one, like a lot of people did during the boom. But like let's say a card, first edition Blastoise Hollow, a card that I don't really have any connection to. I might
Mm-hmm.
want to hold it as a spec. I might want to say it's too cheap right now. I'm gonna hold it, right? When do I sell it though? And what does the timeline look like? Like, are we holding it for 5 years? Are we holding it for 10 years? Like, what's the play? And am I live? Because I could be breaking up. Okay. Okay. Jake, you there? All right. Well, hopefully you guys can still hear us. We lost Jake Smith. Should be back.
Well, my
Um,
internet went out. I thought yours was bad.
that's crazy, dude. We both. I thought that was my internet. Okay, we're back.
Ooh, and then I
So
looked at
talk to
the
me.
internet. Great. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you gotta handle this one, dude.
Where did you leave
All
off?
right,
What did I
minor
miss?
difficulties. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Okay, yeah. Basically, I was just saying, like, if it's a card that you don't care about, like if it's a Grail that you tend but you don't care about it, right? Or like, let's say you're the guy who bought Wolfie's Charizard. You paid 150K for the first Chari. Like, when do you sell it? You get me? Like, when? Like, how do you plan to sell a big card? Or I guess what does that look like relative to other investments you can make over a 10-year timeline? Like, I think a property I buy today is going to do way better than my Elottie in 10 years, bro. It's not even close. But obviously, a
Yeah.
property will cost me 10 to 30 times more, you know? So I guess the original thought experiment came from asking Jake Smith, like, how long is it going to take for the Elottie to be $40,000? Like, it was just a
Hmm.
crazy question. It's like, okay, how long till 40K? How long till Elottie is 40K? Okay, let's say it takes 20 years. In 20 years, the Elottie will be 40K. That's 2K a year. That's
Hmm.
awesome. But if you buy an apartment in the right place, you're gonna make way more than 2K a year. Way more.
Yeah.
Like anyone, like you could ask Bierski or me and my wife, we got lucky, but like anyone who got a pre-pandemic house loan is doing well, right? It's doing
Yeah.
well. Much better than any other card investment or any other thing you could have held. Property. So
Yep.
I mean, I'm just beating a dead horse at this point, but like I want to get people to think about that tying up the money in the widget in the card should be more about love and like being appreciative of having that because you're losing money relative to other
Yeah.
places you could have it.
It's like it's
Um,
not just the entry price, but you're kind of paying monthly, yearly, however long you have that card, an opportunity cost of putting that money somewhere that could be making more money. Um, which is like interesting too. Are we live? It's interesting too because the person who paid 180K for the CGC 10 Chari, they either love that card so much that they don't care to use that money elsewhere, or I mean that's all it has to be, right? Because like 180K, the amount of money you can make with 180K actively moving is insane. So you're basically just tying
right,
that up into a card that
right.
hopefully they're loving more than making more money with that 180K, which is
How much do you think you
pretty
would?
insane at that cost.
How much do you think you would make a year if I gave you 180K to flip with?
Oh my god. I mean,
That's what like. At least 108, at least 250K, at least.
it was I mean, I did it full time for a year because I was super dusted, but I wanted to give it a try because of my life circumstances. But all of 2023, I was full time Pokemon, and I had like really just an active role of probably like, let's say 4K a month, and I think I hit around like 120K gross sales. If I had like 180K liquid cash, I'd definitely be able to do better than what the Chari does in a year. If it's just the Chari sitting there and then me with 180K side by side, um, I mean, I don't want to brag. I mean, the Chari is a pretty cool guy, but I think I'd be able to outperform it. But that,
So is collectible something is can you hear me?
yeah,
Hello, hello?
yeah. Can
Yeah,
you hear
so
me?
you think maybe we're just too broke to collect? Yeah, I can hear you.
I mean,
You hear me now?
I think I am. I mean,
Are we live?
after doing it full time, and I mean, I'm trying to build my bankroll roll up so I can make more money. I mean, that's the whole point of my current life, is to get more and more comfortable by building up a, you know, good amount of cash. But collecting like every single, like my problem right now is like every single card that I get in that I think I'm going to hold on to and really enjoy, I just end up finding someone who will pay me more for it than I bought it for, or it just doesn't feel good on my desk or wherever I store my cards. So And that probably is like a net worth / bankroll thing. Like maybe I'm just not comfortable enough, or I don't have enough money just to be able to put something to the side and never think about it again. Sounds pretty nice, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Is maybe I enjoy selling. It's uncomfortable for me to keep any cards, and like all that combined, it's not on the docket right now. There's a few things I'll collect. Like I have a Mag Cargo from Split Earth signed by Arita. Like I'm not going to sell that. Like I did that on purpose because it was one of my favorite artworks. But as far as just like collecting set cards,
Can I offer
that's
you
not for me
250
right now. Yep, sold.
Can I
Guys,
offer
we
250 on
did
the
it.
Mag Cargo? Yeah, all right, thanks, bro.
Yep,
Appreciate
sold. We did it.
that. Yeah, 250.
GG's in the chat. We got
Yeah,
a dummy.
you really sold that very well. You sold that well.
Yeah, it was all planned. It was all planned. Yeah, just that amount of money is just crazy. Like the more and more I'm like, because I'm trying to look for a house right now, because I'm tired of just throwing money at a management company that doesn't even help fix my refrigerator when it's down. Are you honking right now, dude? Are you good?
Nah, that's some very angry man. Yep, I'm getting
Yeah,
honked
moved to
at.
Miami, guys. It's super lit. Everyone's really friendly. Everyone knows how to drive super well. Everyone has their license that's on the road. Yeah, it's a great time. But yeah, where were we? That just blew my brain apart. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
sorry.
on
Yeah,
anymore.
the guy's anger really blew me. But hey, listen.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Jake Smithers. My point is this. Okay, let's go. Let's get centered again. My connection should be better. Let's see. Okay, I want more than any widget, more than any possible fucking thing else. I want to retire in a beach house, have a little fishing boat, a little beach house, and I want to be an old man and I want to read books on the sand with my wife and my close friends who I brought to the baller beach house because they were loyal when I was broke. This is my dream, Jake Smith. You can come with me, if you want. You know, we'll get you another house on the beach house, not as good as my house, but pretty good.
Yeah, like a little efficiency.
We'll get
like
you a little efficiency.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know, you can maybe clean my, my fishing gear and stuff. What I'm saying is, I'm not gonna get a beach house by being a dummy, right? To me, beach house, I win. Beach house, I win. I don't care who's happy. I don't care who told me what. 65 years old, beach house, win. Okay? How do we get there? How do I put together the funds to get a beach house? Where is the beach house? I gotta find it before I could buy it. So, like, in order to make our dreams come true, we first have to have dreams. You know what I'm saying? Call me Ernie Roosevelt in this bitch, bro. You don't have a dream, you don't have a vision. How are you gonna make it happen? I had a vision to own the single greatest Charizard promo of all time. I somehow was able to get it, Jake Smith. Now I want a beach house. And that's where we're at. How do we get there? In 20 years. Actually, 30 years. I got 30 years to beach house.
Probably less Charizards and selling Charizards right now and then buying more Charizards and selling those while also having a full-time job. I think that's how you get there.
So just work, slave away.
You got to do the math on like what's the pathway that I can choose that's going to cause me the least amount of depression and the most happiness for the most amount of money. And whatever that is, you just got to go hard at it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I
but
like
also
that.
you got to have the dream because that's the fuel in the machine to get you there.
Right. So I have my dream. Beach house.
Yep. Just step one. We have the dream. Now we just need to know how to make the most money.
Yeah, and it's
probably
like it's almost
not Yu-Gi-Oh! Mario Show.
Oh, dude, you'd be surprised. That shit prints. Oh, there we go. Smith, I don't know what to tell you, Big Derek. I want a beach house. Okay, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna need. What's a beach house go for? A couple mil, couple milli, like maybe like two
In
milli.
the Keys, probably. Maybe you get a small one for a milli. You could get one off the beach, but you want one on the beach.
I want maybe the Keys has sailed. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can't get one in the Biscayne Keys because it's too crazy. But maybe I can find another Keys. You know, like maybe close to Georgia or something. Like I just want a nice little beach house, big chillin'. Basically, I want the end of the movie Shawshank Redemption. I just want to see my friend and shake his hand in that nice ass beach,
Mm-hmm.
big chillin', just working on the fishing boat.
Yep.
Okay.
Like we
Now,
did.
when I'm at that beach and I'm still holding on to my Charizard from 30 years ago that appreciated only 1500,
Mm-hmm.
am I really gonna love that card or am I gonna be hot? Is the
And the
question.
1500s just from inflation alone.
That's what I'm saying. So like what the fuck would have to happen for your Pokemon Grail to get you financial freedom? It's a pipe dream, dude. It's a pipe dream. Hey chat, all you guys holding on to little Rayquazas and shit, the only person that wants that is you. That's it.
It's
So
not true, but yeah, a lot of
I
people
mean
want Rayquaza. It's just
I mean
do enough people right now for the supply? Will they want enough for it to go up and continue to buy it as it goes up? And then the person selling the Rayquaza has to sell at the right time. There are certain points in time when 2019 selling was looking pretty good. You just sell everything, and the next thing you know, ding 2020, and you're like, oh, what have I done? I just sold $1 million of cards for 80 grand. So does it just go back down to luck with cards? Is anyone really like a true savant? Like no one can really know unless they just have an AI brain that's following the volume of sales across the board for like each era and like each language and each grade and putting it all together for some sort of time telling ability or
yeah,
future telling.
but also, and this might be a hot take, this is kind of outside of the hobby, but the line between savant and dummy, it can sometimes be very close, right? Because
Yeah.
like imagine you're so you're 28, right? So 10 years ago would be 2014, you'd be 18. Okay. Imagine when you were 18, you had 17 error Clefables.
Mm-hmm.
Would you feel good about yourself? Would your friends like you? Would you
I
hide that
probably
from people, or would you get what I'm saying? Like when nothing is expensive, you're kind of a weirdo. Like you kind of have to be a weirdo and an outcast and a dummy to then get lucky and become a great man. Because like I'm sure there were people that were collecting Pokemon, dude, like for example, who just had like a couple of cards, like a reasonable human being would be. Like our homie
mm-hmm.
Yuno, remember he had the Shining Mewtwo and he had like a couple of the waifus or whatever, bro, like 5 slabs. When 2020 happened, he printed, but he
Yeah.
didn't print like the mentally challenged people printed. He didn't print like Dan, who had every card ever made in a 10.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Like you had to be a little slow to really print. You like not in a bad way. I'm saying like you had to be a little different. You get what I'm saying? To fully capitalize.
You had to be in like you had to be in a niche space where you're probably putting an amount that Dave Ramsey would be like, "What the fuck are you
Yeah, like
doing?" Like
right, right,
into Pokemon. Like you could
right.
justify it in tons of different ways. I love it. My kids are fine. Their college is paid for. I have no debt. But you still have 50 grand in Pokemon cards. Like that. Like that. Just the 50 grand alone. Like many people would be like, "Wait, how old are you? Like, why do you have 50 grand in Pokemon?" So I see where you're coming from. It's like they're
Like
not
bro,
challenged, but like mentally, but they are kind of in a
they're
niche
an outlier. They're an outlier.
reality thought
Yeah,
pattern. Yeah.
you have to be an outlier to to cook ridiculous, right? Like you seen
Hmm.
that movie The Big Short or whatever, where the
Hmm.
dude used his company to bet against the housing market, and everybody's like, okay, bro, this guy literally is off his rocker.
Yeah.
He was off his rocker. He was dusted.
Yeah.
It was insane to do that, right? So you have to be a little crazy. It's like the dude that is up $1 million and still wants to answer the last question. It's like, just take the million, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are
Yeah.
you gambling $1 million for? It's like, no deal, no deal. It's like, what do you mean you got $1 million? So
For the
anyway,
love of the game.
I don't know. I forgot where I was going. But my point is that if you were just a reasonable man, you didn't make millions in the boom because you probably just didn't have that much money tied up in a dead TCG Pokemon. You get what I'm saying? Like back then, it wasn't like Jake Smith. I spent over 15K last year in just PSA grading only, from PSA only.
Yeah.
15K, dude. So I'm still small time. Imagine what Dan is spending. Imagine what James and these guys, Retro, what these guys are spending. These dudes are
Yeah.
probably spending our yearly salary on just grading. So what are they spending on shipping supplies, bro? I spent like 3K on shipping supplies. What the fuck?
Yeah.
On shipping supplies. So like when you take a step back, you're like, damn, like even the 1% that I'm losing here or there, it's really adding up. And these businesses are huge.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll let you take over.
I'm like still like kind of stuck on the Spectrum thing because like before, I mean, 2016 there was a boom. Like there's been little bitty things where it's like anyone who is in the space, they have their group of people, whether it's players, whether it's fellow air collectors back in 2012. The thing has been going on. It's not like Pokemon grew legs in 2020 and started to run. Like it's been around the whole time. But also like you had to, in order to truly like, sell millions of dollars in the 2020 boom, you had to put unreasonable amounts in the eyes
Before
of traditional
before it was
financial
cool.
advisors, and yeah, in it before it was cool. And but then also there's, along the spectrum, there's people that probably had millions of dollars in Pokemon in 2020, didn't sell anything because they truly were in it for like, I need this forever,
For the love.
and they
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have it. And maybe they want to sell now, maybe they have regrets, but
Right, right.
it's interesting
Absolutely.
that there's a lot of people that were less attached to it when the money truly came around and ended up, really doing well in 2020. But they were both on the same side before 2020. Like they just, both groups traditionally probably had too much money invested in Pokemon cards, or not invested, but they just had too many Pokemon cards. Um,
I mean, not to mention the true collectors that still had their childhood binders, like the real true collectors that didn't even grade it.
yeah.
And there's probably, and I think that's like that in Japan. I guarantee you there's people with complete crystal sets in Japan, raw, in a no sleeve in a binder, you know? So the,
100%.
the
Yeah.
dust is, the dust is beyond real. Obviously my Black Label sale is a super nail in the coffin to stamp the dust. The money's there. It's just like, I don't know, man. I mean, we can move on. We can go to the next thing or whatever. I basically said everything I needed to say on that, but I think it's interesting to think about.
Yeah. So we're super behind in chat, but DNA, when we were
Skip,
talking
skip,
about,
skip, 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 skip,
all right, relax.
skip DNA,
Okay.
skip, 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 skip DNA, skip.
He said, I just hope I'm alive in 20 years.
Same brother.
What's a better chance? DNA being alive in 20 years or Eladi Chari being 40K?
Um, well,
Probably
DNA
Chari.
DNA will never die because we will keep him alive in our hearts. Real talk.
Very true.
I
Very
will
true.
always tell that Diener story that we can't tell on the live to my kids, my grandkids. You know the one.
Oh yeah, that one grandkid. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about him.
No, no, I'm talking about the secret DNA story that we can't disclose on the live. The one that people have to go to the Discord to hear. Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, dude. Is the best way to financial freedom just buying Pokemon boxes at 80 to 90 and waiting till they eventually go to 120 and selling just
Oh,
forever.
okay. You just tapped me back in. Thank you. You juiced me back into the matrix. I tapped out. Thank you, Jake Smith. See, that's why I pay you. Jake Smith, should I have one Elati, right? Or should I have 10 ultimate rare Jinsos, dude? What the fuck are we doing, chat? Chat. For those who don't know, just please bear with me. Ultimate rares in Japanese are kind of like gold stars. They're very, very fucking hard to pull, right? And even if you pull one, it might not be the one you want. And then even if it's the Jinso, it's not gonna 10 because it's Yu-Gi-Oh, chat. Walk with me. Please do not unsubscribe. Walk with me. Jake Smith, this man, I will solo lay him. Look at this man. That man on the screen right now purchased this card in a 10 for 280. Can you clap for yourself, please? He's a great man. He bought it for
Nobody wants it.
he bought it for 280. Now, chat, hear me out. You can get 10 of them, or you can get one Pokemon card. In 20 years, chat, when I'm trying to buy the beach house, 20 Jinsos, max rarity, max grade, are gonna outperform the Chari, chat. Let's keep it real, chat. The straight up volume of it, the rarity fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? S tier character. I mean, it's still Yu-Gi-Oh, but I guess, what are your thoughts on that?
We kind of overlooked the aspect that it's Yu-Gi-Oh. But who
Well,
knows?
anyway,
Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh finally gets their Black Swan event. I mean, Pokemon's had what, probably 3 to 5 over the years. Yu-Gi-Oh could have one. We're still waiting 25 years, but eventually maybe Yu-Gi-Oh has one. Maybe they make a what's it called, virtual reality game, and people get really into Yu-Gi-Oh and they're like, "Oh my god, I played the Dark Magician Girl. I need that."
yeah,
Yeah, the chances of that, I just can't see them outperforming a Charizard.
but it's one
It's dark.
Charizard. It's
I know
one
it's
Charizard.
that dark though.
It's, you think in 20 years. So you think when you're 50, wait, 48.
Uh-huh.
When you're 48 years old, how much you think the ulti rare Jinso in a 10 is gonna be? At least 1,000, bro. At least.
Probably 250-ish.
Okay. Well, I mean, shut it down. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know. It's all speculation anyway. We should just be buying property. And before we move on, because I really want to jump right now, Jake Smith, before I forget, can you
Mhm.
please tell me what's your end game? Like what is winning for you? Like as far as financial, I'm not saying, whatever. The soul is different, but like where would you like to retire? Where do you see yourself at 65?
Hmm. Well, it's hard to tell because I still haven't been to Japan, Europe, and many other places. I've been to most of the U.S., so if I'm going on my very limited knowledge and travels in the U.S., I would have a summer home in Oregon. Most beautiful place there is in the U.S. Sorry, Florida. I would probably have a condo in Miami for the funsies,
Skip,
a little bit of funsies.
skip.
Um, Massive mansion in Texas, home base. Um,
Yeah, man.
and probably a house in Chicago too.
So your end game is have 4 different houses. Got it. Bro, you got to pick one.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the end game. You're talking about the middle game. I'm talking about old. You can't do nothing. You can barely walk. You can't do nothing. Where do essentially the house that not to get morbid, but your last house. Like, what's it look like?
This is Jake Smith's last house. My last house. I don't know. There's some pretty cool retirement communities north of me in Austin. It's like 55 plus. They run bingo games, and you can play bridge and a bunch of other dying card games, and
Okay.
you
All right.
can just be with other people your age until you move on in life.
Yep. Renewal. All right, let's get to the chat, bro, because I'm getting home here soon. I don't want to ignore the homies. What are we talking about in the chat? Let's tap in.
Kai says next topic. Thanks for coming through, Kai.
Yeah, Kai, thank you for being here, bro.
People are confused why we're going live so much.
We're doing it for you guys, bro. We know how hard it is out here with the limited pokey sphere
Ooh,
canteen.
really important from Suge. Come to Japan and find you a baddie. I'm
Ooh,
there.
Suge, highlight that. Highlight that.
Oh, it's highlighted, dude.
I don't know.
It got me juiced. I'm excited right now.
Hmm.
Where in Japan do I need to go and live to find these baddies, Suge? Do I have to go to Tokyo or can I be in the countryside? I'm just a nice little Texan countryside boy, you know?
Yeah, you'll get attacked out there. All right.
Um, Ernie, Jake, what are your favorite 2 movies of all time and why?
Ooh, that's a hard one, dude. But this ain't pokey flip, so skip.
I gotta say, Gladiator is probably one of my favorites of all time. Just because
Are
he's
you
at the
not
top,
entertained?
then he's at the bottom, and then the rest of the movie is just pure revenge. And he gets revenge and
Is this not why
dies
you are
happy.
here?
Are you not entertained? Yeah, great movie. Yours is probably what? The
That
Godfather.
movie's
All
good.
right, we can move on.
I'm kind of breaking up. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Two favorite movies is tough, dude. Like, you know, I like different
Just
movies for different
yeah,
reasons. You know.
just pick one. You can pick a rom-com. We all know you love those.
I didn't hear that. Say it again.
What's your favorite movie genre, and then you can go from there.
Yeah,
You can't hear me.
might need a second here. No, I don't know if it's you or me, but couldn't hear
Oh
that
yeah, I
good there.
spoiled Gladiator for everyone. Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to spoil a 30-year-old movie. It's my fault. It's my fault.
No, you're good.
Um,
Gladiator's a really good movie. Gladiator's great. Um, you know what's my favorite Russell Crowe movie? My favorite Russell Crowe movie is actually American Gangster. I love that movie.
mm, I was talking about that. I need to
Great
rewatch
movie.
that. I think I saw that in like 2009 or something. I
Chat, let
got to
us know. Let
rewatch.
us know who's breaking up. Chat, Samir or Smith.
Oh, it's you for sure.
Okay.
It's all clear on my end. It's all clear.
Okay. So maybe I just can't hear you, but they can still hear you. So maybe it's okay. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
American Gangster. Really good movie. Another good movie I saw that's pretty recent. That I mean, I'm sure a lot of people saw it. Whiplash. Have you guys seen Whiplash? It's about the musician and the teacher. I like that
Yep.
type of intense short movie. You know, I don't like when movies are too long unless there's a reason for it. Like I really like The Irishman, how they dragged out the whole thing historically. You know, it's a long movie. And also it's important for the movie to be long because they're setting up the relationship between the characters and they need to like, you know, they need to make it long. You know, there's like it makes sense to me. But yeah, really liked Whiplash. I'm really into like I guess troubled artists and shit like that. And that movie was literally the peak of that. It was really good and it's a lot of music. It's just to me like what a movie should be, which is like a quick experience, and then you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, you know. Um, but like I obviously like period pieces too. Like I said, American Gangster is so dope, bro. How they had the whole New York looking like that time,
Yep.
and the outfits and everything, and then the history, and then the super graphic drug use, and like it's just such a time machine to that story,
Oh yeah.
which is kind of what you look for. But as far as of all time, it's hard, bro, because there's also comedies and shit. Like you know what I mean? Like, are we doing serious movies? I mean, my favorite comedy is way different than my favorite movie, right? Like, um, I don't know. I like a bunch of movies. I like The Matrix. I like Men in Black One. I like obviously all the crime movies, Scorsese. I like all the Stanley Kubrick movies. I like
Pokemon 2000.
what's Buddy's name, bro? What's Buddy's name? He makes the best movies. He did Dark Knight, I think. What's his name?
Oh
Um, Nolan? Is it Nolan? I don't know. That guy's unbelievable. I love his movies. Tarantino movies. I don't know, dude. It's a really hard question, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
yeah, Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan's hard, bro. really good.
Yeah, he
Everything
does
I
go
like
super
everything he
hard.
does. I like every movie he's made, like straight up. Like,
He
um,
made Oppenheimer, Interstellar, Inception, Dunkirk. Dude, Dunkirk was intense.
yeah, Nolan's the man. Um, I like Goodfellas. I like those type of movies. Like type of movies that I could watch all the time would be like Rush Hour 2. Have you ever seen Rush Hour 2? I could watch that movie. Like if that movie's on, I'm watching it.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
or like there's certain movies that like, if they're on, I'm watching it. Like if American Gangster is on, I'm watching it, dude. I don't got nothing
yeah.
better to do. There's no YouTube video. Like I'm watching American Gangster. I loved every scene of that movie. You know what I'm saying? I like Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight, one of the latest Tarantino ones. I
Yep.
fucking love that movie, dude. I love that movie so much, and
So good.
I've
I
watched it
even
a
like
million times.
the. Did you ever see Once Upon a? We've probably talked about this, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where like not many people really cared for it. I loved that one.
All right, let's. You want to go through some questions? I just got home here, so I should be settled in a couple of
Yeah,
minutes.
Kai
Yeah.
asked, who's breaking up? Is it the man in his house or the Cuban driving 140 on the freeway? It's a mystery.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point, Kai. Noted. Noted.
Peak That Shoe asked, what's the most expensive card both of you have sold? Bonus, what is your most profitable sale or just the highest number?
Yeah, this is a great time to plug our consignment affiliate, James CNG. Go ahead and send them your stuff before he also exits the hobby.
Yep.
He's not gonna
Get him
tell
while
you
he's
this.
hot.
He's not gonna tell you this publicly, you guys, but we're gonna need to support the homie because he's on the brink of hobby jumping. So if he posts something, maybe comment on it. Hit the like button. Maybe send him your stuff and pay him 12% that he didn't deserve. But like help him out because he's down bad right now.
Yeah.
When you're making 500K a week, it just really destroys your enthusiasm.
I think I'm
So
gonna send him like $20 on Venmo just so his family can eat tonight. But you just gotta think of ways to just keep your homies happy. Like it's really important, mental health in the hobby.
yeah, exactly. But I don't know if that answered your question. But yeah, the 3K Black Label sale was real nice recently.
Yeah, I don't even have anything close to 3K. The most expensive card I sold was a Pop 7 Japanese Dragon Frontiers Latios. Pretty dark for 1,500 to a Chinaman, a great Chinaman. We love
Great.
China.
Yeah, great place.
Yeah, I mean that one's probably my biggest profit too, because I think I bought the card raw for 90. I tinned the Milotic from that same set a long time ago, like 2 years ago. I bought it for $10 and sold it for $850, I think. So, Dragon Frontiers prints, people. Keep your eyes peeled. All right, what else we got? Ribs wrapped in foil or nah from the old card shop. I usually like to eat my ribs without foil surrounding it. Foil doesn't really taste very good to me, personally. Personal take.
All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it, bro. Let's get to the topics.
Yeah, I'm trying to read chat.
All right.
Kai says his favorite was Shrek 2 and Shrek 3D. Shrek 3D slapped, yeah. I think I actually saw that in IMAX. Super dark. Great movie.
Great movie.
Pokemage asks, what do you do when grading 10s doesn't rustle your jimmies anymore?
Great question.
Always try the strip club. What else is fun? That's about it. Yeah.
What
That's
else
my
is
only
a
suggestion.
What else is a Jimmy Rustler? Dude, grade black labels.
Oh, true. Yeah, you could. I was talking with Kai, and he says he's at like a 4 to 7% black label rate. So he gets like 4 to 7 black labels per up 100 cards, and like 70 of those are 9.5s. So
Hmm.
I don't know if the getting that many 9.5s
It'll do
evens
something to
out
him,
the
man. No,
Jimmy rustling with
no.
only 4 black labels. You just kind of hope the black labels are, the ones with the highest margin and not some $1 AR. Brad asked, when is Z going to start paying you guys for all these ads?
Bro, he's already paying us. If it wasn't, he's paying the hobby.
That's
The
true.
vet,
Yeah. He's
a man
providing
said
for everyone.
he's providing. You don't have to list, and it's less percent, like straight up.
It's a no-brainer. Speaking of that, I need to send everything to him just so he can
Correct.
survive.
Correct. Well, Jake Smith, if we don't have any topics, dude, I'm super ready to either go 3 more hours or shut her down. So it's on you. It's on the chat. Are we live? What are we doing? I'm juiced up. Shoot me the topics.
We already talked about Dream Beach House. I mean, I could share my screen and go through some Yugi dust and low popping dust if you want, but
Oh yeah, let's do the low popping thing. I want to do that. I want to show the chat and I want to share some thoughts here with the chat, if I may.
okay.
So here's the thing, guys. There's this account on Instagram. It's called Low Popping. Okay. I don't know who that guy is, but he's a great man. I'm assuming it's a large business, probably a card shop. I don't know. It could be, somebody in the chat. But this man is putting out such consistent sauce on his IG story sales that it's making me and Jake Smith look like little playground kids that just left the playpen and like literally can't even walk on our own. This man, every single slide on his Instagram IG story either has a black label, a gold star, a shiny, like it's stupid. And the way he does the layout, he does 4 cards per slide. So he has so much sauce that he has to do 4. And what I realized is that having such variety, Jake Smith, it makes me want to buy. Like the fact that he's hitting my eyelids with so much juice, it's like It's like a Super Metroid graded video game. It's like, oh, it's a gold star shiny. It's a pristine 10 Elati. It's like by the time you get to the 5th, slide, it's like you went to Disney or something. It's like you're just so mesmerized that it makes you want to buy. Versus
Yeah.
my story sales, I'll have like 2 or 3 things. It's like, It's, what I'm saying? It's not like going through that shit is like an experience almost. And I think that probably gets them a lot of sales. It's like people are get to take this, I don't know, this like drive with you, no pun intended. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
He doesn't really repost very much too. Like it's hard to see someone's story sale, like maybe it's the 5th or 6th day in a row and the same card is on there, just getting like cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Like I don't know, that doesn't really make you want to buy either.
True, absolutely.
When you just keep seeing the same card, you're like, oh, no one wants this. Why should I want this? So he seems he definitely has it down. He'll throw packs and like vintage packs, SIGs, gold stars, all different types of high end stuff in there. Pretty neat.
I think it's a pretty good strategy, to be honest. I think it's a really good strategy to have a bunch of sauce. Maybe just do one story sale with a lot of sauce rather than like slow drip it. But then also the market is moving, so it's difficult. I mean, like for me, I just want to dump it immediately.
Yep.
What else we got?
Are you pulling it up or I'm pulling it up? Or are we not pulling it up? We just wanted to talk about that.
Oh, we can pull it up. You want me to pull it up? Yeah, we could do that. I'm just not. I see. I gotta go to the call. Let me get in there.
I mean, that's
I got you guys. Yeah, we should have pulled it up while we were talking about it, but you guys get it. It's this guy, Big Juice. Here,
Mr. Big Juice.
do this big juice. Let's see. Let me in. Let me in. Okay. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Can you guys see? I mean, I know it's small. I know it's small,
Yeah.
but there's nothing we could do. It's just like it doesn't get really any bigger.
Yeah, I feel that, bro.
You know, I'm sure you can relate. But basically, look, it's just nonstop sauce. He has like a base set pack, Shadowless, a Shining, and the promo all in the same. You see what I'm saying? Like Gold Star, base pack, phone card. Like it's overload, bro. Look,
Yeah,
it's
it kind of makes each one stand out too, which I liked. I kind of wanted to
yes.
start doing this. Is like just
It's all
adding,
different.
yeah, a category of each thing. Like there's 4 categories here. There's a Watsy Hollow. There's there's a pack, a Black Label, and a Sig. It's like, what are we doing? Pretty cool, dude.
I think this is awesome, and I think this definitely gets some sales. Just nice, clear, big prices, and a lot of variety in the slides, and a lot of juice all at once in your face. I think this might be the way. I like this. All right,
Peak
let's
wanted to
let's read
answer
these
this
comments. Yeah,
question.
talk to me, Peak. What's
He
up?
said, I've started volume grading a lot of $4 to $12 cards for $70 to $100 PSA 10 sales consistently while going after high end at a lower volume. Thoughts / similarities to both of your models? I mean, my first thought is I've kind of been doing the same thing when I can pick up stuff. It kind of ties into me not really negotiating on a lot of the stuff I bought at the last con, because a lot of that stuff was like $5 to $15, but because the the English quality is so bad, they're like $100 to $150 tens. So it's like I'm not going to negotiate a $12 card down to $8 to improve my margin by 3%. So, but also my problem with this model that I've had issues with in the past is it's very hit or miss. Like it feels like the Black Label gamble to some degree, because one of two things is going to happen. You're going to send a bunch of the mintiest English cheap cards you've ever seen in your life to PSA, and these cards, like the mintiest you ever seen, there's a white dot on a corner, or there's, maybe a print line or something that's hard to see. Like it's your best case scenario. You think they're all going to get tens. They're either most are going to get tens, or you're going to get some tens. You're also going to get a bunch of sevens, eights, and nines, which I've done. And at that point, if you're grading a $4 to $12 card and you're spending 15 to grade it, and you get an 8 or a 9, you either have to decide to lose money on that card immediately or try to crack and resend. And then you're spending $30 on a $4 card to grade it. And I don't really like that too much personally. I like grading cards that are like at least $50. So the cracking aspect when I know it's a 10 is not going to hurt as much. But that's just my opinion on that. It is nice to, I mean, I've done it before, and that's why I continue to try to buy these cheaper cards that look nice in person, is whenever you do hit the 10, it is pretty stupid margins for this time and era of Pokemon selling. So you got any thoughts on that?
I actually think that's really close to my model, Peak. I'm doing the same shit. I'm just grading a lot of cheap cards that you can sell for like 50, 60 in a 10. There's a lot of opportunity for that in Yu-Gi-Oh too. Like you just get Yu-Gi-Oh lots. You're in for like a couple bucks a card. You sell them for double raw, and you can still grade 10s that you get 40, 50. It's super yawn. It's not sexy. But if you like cards, you can churn through a bunch of cheap cards, find the minty ones and grade them. You could do that on TCG Player as well. If you recognize that there's a good card and you want to grade some, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be $100 Charizard. You can be buying a $5 card, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
And like Josh is like, I want to know what easy to grade $7 card turns into a $100 10. Like that's the problem, is it's not an easy 10. Like probably
right.
half the times you're going to be getting an 8 or a 9 for, you don't even know what the reason is. Maybe they saw a little dot and they're like, yep, that's an 8. So I mean, just one example is the there's multiple Scarlet and Violet ARs that fit this bill or illustration rares, and there's also some Sword and Shield ones as well. Like there's Gengars and Pikachus from Sword and Shield with the yellow border that you can get for $2 to $5 that are $60 to $100 tins. One specific example I keep picking up whenever I see it is there's certain Scarlet and Violet promos that are just like not as graded as they should be. For example, that really cool Ninetales illustration rare that came out where it's kind of like in the woods and it's kind of orange and yellow vibe to it. I graded a 10 of that and I bought the card for like $5 raw or something, and it sold for $160 on eBay just because I was like one of 2 listings. So you just have to kind of put in the research of like what's the price on TCG, how many are available, or like how many are available in PSA 10 on eBay, and just kind of do the math and see if it works for you. Then you have to decide, do I want to try to go to a card shop to try to find that to see it in person, or do I order 20 off of TCG Player and hope for the best? So that's kind of what I don't like right now is like that type of play. Yeah, this type of play.
So look, let's
I
talk
have
about
to buy 20, and if I don't find any that are gradable, I'm stuck selling 20 of these for a while. So that's why I'm not really too big of a fan of it.
Yeah, but if you pick a popular Pokemon, then you'll be fine. So for example, like I think I bought 40 of these or something, Jake Smith, and then I sent 10 or something to PSA, and then I sent 2 to Beckett, right? So out of 40, the 2 mintiest ones I sent to Beckett, and then the other whatever I sent to PSA. But the other 30 something Charis that I had literally sold 3 a day. Like 3 a day, guys. Like just low list on eBay, immediate, because it's a Charizard and the set had just come out. So like it's really not that bad. Okay, yeah, you have to do a bunch of envelopes, like kill yourself, but it's not that bad when you can get 10 PSA 10s out of it and 2 black labels. Okay, obviously that's not gonna happen, guys. You're not gonna black label English. It's literally a fucking lottery. It's not realistic. What's more realistic is if you buy 20, you can get like 5 PSA 10s, maybe get 1 potential Beckett if you're lucky. Probably not, because a lot of the sellers pick through their shit and they'll send you 20, like straight up, they'll send you 20 OC ones and you're just stuck. So it's not sexy. It's not a beautiful play. But I mean, these cards are still $4 right now on TCG. You can probably find a seller that has a bunch, get a bunch. You can still roll the dice. But more than likely, you're not going to get that many 10s. And it's just going to be like Jake Smith said, like you're going to be stuck with quantity 30 of a card. So you better do it with something liquid. Do it with a Pikachu. Do it with a Charizard, Gengar. Don't do this play with like Blossom, dude. You're going to be stuck for years.
Yeah, and the problem is too is like it's great when you can sell through your OC or not as near mint as you thought cards, but you're going to be losing money on eBay unless you spend just tons of time looking at cross arbitrage. Like maybe this card's 350 on here, but it sells for 6 on eBay for whatever reason. Then that would make this play even safer, because then the cards that you get in that you're not going to grade, you're actually going to be able to make a little money on. Maybe not after all the time and effort of putting in an envelope, etc. But you're at least.
I don't think I made money. I don't think
I don't think, because that a card like this is so optimized that I guarantee you the TCG player price and the eBay price are very similar. So after fees and everything, you're going to be losing money technically, or not losing money, but the cost basis for the cards you are grading, it will be going up, which is
absolutely.
It's not bad though, because maybe you're losing 30 cents to $1 per card. And if you bought 20 cards, I mean, you're losing less than $20 on an entire play that you're trying to, you're hopefully making 100 or more off of after all the time and effort. But I like the business model, but it does take a lot of work. There's probably a little bit more gambling than you'd normally want as a business. But if you're just doing it on the side and you enjoy going through cards and...
So look, guys, I'll show you. So this is my store, and I sold 7 10s. And I probably took offers, right? I don't want to go into the actual. I don't want to go into the specifics, obviously, because I don't want to show anyone's address or anything. But basically, just stock image, quantity, and they were moving. So I'll. It is a play. I just like it's just not sexy, bro. It's not sexy. I'll pull it up off screen to see what I netted from my lowest sale, and I'll let you guys know. So my lowest sale was 38.99, and was my net was $29 after it's all said and done. But I paid 15 to grade, and I paid 5 for the card, 5 to 6. So I made $8 on a PSA 10.
Yeah.
Like it's not sexy. Like the only
Yeah.
reason I won on that play was because I hit the black label. But it's like
Yeah.
that was a complete moonshot, dog. I've sent minty ponchos, Japanese nuback, all glossy, minty shit, and got 9.5. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Then Jason Yam says, "What about Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center stamped ETV promo 10 selling for huge margin?" I mean that's just due to the same thing. Like they're horrible quality. Like they're complete trash. Like the only reason why, like I think I saw a sale. I don't know what the current sale is, and I can't be bothered to bring it up. But the main standout of Pokemon Center ETB promos recently has been that Charmander that's looking through the window, the Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center one. I think I
mm-hmm.
saw one sell for 550, and raw they're like 50 to 80 probably now. But the only reason that happens is not because it's rare. Everyone and their mom got that promo and cooked off of it. It's because they're all trashed quality. Like I was talking to Cass, and he bought like 30 of them or something insane, and like 50 plus of the regular ETB one. I think he only graded a few of them. Like they're just that bad. So like that type of margin makes sense. It can be a fun game to play if you find some out in the wild where someone's like, yeah, I'll take 70. I paid 40 for the ETB. I'll take 70 for the promo. And like they're not looking at the card or can't be bothered to grade it, and you can catch a lick. But I mean, the mintiest of mint of those types of cards, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen, shouldn't even be PSA 10s. So that's just kind of playing the lottery as well. And you're winning. Same thing with that Magikarp illustration rare. Just horrible quality from Paldea Evolve. So any of them that get 10s, it's a $500+ card. It's fun, but it's not really a business model unless you're doing other things. Like I don't think it's a sustainable thing to purely run a business off of.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's a good question, Peak. But yeah, similar. Sometimes you catch the occasional vintage lick or the big $1,000 card, but for the most part, and also don't sleep on raw. Don't sleep on raw. It's money to be made in raw. Um, and even like for the TCG stuff, if you could buy at the low, you always make money. Like if you
yeah,
can literally time the market and buy any card at the lowest possible point, you're gonna print regardless, graded, black label, doesn't matter, you're winning. So raw, sometimes we ignore raw as an entry point. And there's dudes that like buy a card at $5, stash it, and then they're $40 cards and they print super hard.
mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, dude. It's like the raw thing is like hard for me, I guess. It's like obviously you can find like huge lots and make money, and I guess that's probably one of the best ways to source raw, just to flip raw. But maybe I just hate listing raw, and maybe whatnot is just the best way to do it. Because you don't that's like the least amount of time spent for selling a raw card. But I find it very tedious and not as many. And it's probably because I'm not as like versed in it, but I just feel like there's not as many licks, or like the margins aren't high enough from what I've seen. I could be wrong. For me to go full send raw. There's just too many opportunities and plays with grading still that it's like I don't know why people only do raw. And maybe that's because they don't care to pre-grade, or they're not as interested in what types of margins there are to be made grading. But yeah, that's kind of my
Well,
thought on
well,
raw.
well, Peak was talking about like business models. If your business model is raw, like Mason or Thrifty or something, you just print. You don't think about grading. I mean, they could be making oversights. Like I definitely think Thrifty sometimes. I'm like, let me look through your binder, let me double check, because they get in this like sell, 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 and it's like, dude, that's a $400 tent. Like let's take it up. Like let's take a look.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but also they're moving way more volume, and their decisions are a lot easier, Smith. It's literally just number, card, picture, number. That's it. This for this. Snap, 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 snap. For us, it's like 100 pictures, download the image, zoom in, get the CIA, call it. It's like they don't have to do none of that. So they're making lower margins, but their job is easier, and they're connecting with the
I
people right away. Like I don't know. I think there's like a lot of merit to going full raw. Pause.
I don't think it's that much easier, to be honest. But maybe that's just like comes from grading a lot and selling a lot of graded cards, and that being my main thing. Like it PSA, I just click and drag the images now and
Right. That's true.
copy
That
similar
is true.
listing. Like it's not that fucking hard. And I just don't see how people can. And maybe it's because I'm just trying to maximize everywhere. I'm a psychotic person, but like me getting in a whole collection and just pricing raw and not even looking at what the margins could potentially be, or just completely not bothering with that extra money that can be made grading, like that blows my mind that people just skip over that completely. Because I guess that's just the game I'm playing. So it's like, and I'm making money playing that game. So it's like I'm watching people not play that game and saying that game is dumb, and I'm over here like, but like how though? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
Hmm.
So
No, I hear you.
uh,
I hear you.
Old Card Shop
Um,
says, are there too many vendors in the space, and who do we blame? I noticed at this last card show, there was a lot of vendors that seemed like they were first time, which was like kind of interesting to me. Like, in my personal opinion, the more vendors, the better. Because that means I can get, if there's more competition on a show floor, that just means better deals for you. And also, if they're newbies, maybe they're doing what I said earlier. They're just playing the raw game, pricing cards well, making a small margin, moving a lot of volumes, and I get to pick through it and make a lot more money on grading tens. But I don't know. Do you think a lot more? I mean, we're kind of tapped out of vending, which is funny. Like we vended, we experienced it, and it's not my favorite thing. I know it's far from your favorite thing. So
yeah, I can't bend anymore, dude. I'm super, super tapped out. Um, but things change. Never say never.
yeah,
You know, it's all good. It's beautiful.
yeah. Pokemage has a lot of Scarlet Violet tens have noticeable issues. Yep, they shouldn't be tens, but you still send them anyways if they're the mintiest you've ever seen. You might as well send it. Giovanni's Beard says, "Yo, what's up with the thumbnail? No Joker Hour blended in." We kind of did
Yeah,
this on the go. We will update it later, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. I'll update it. I'll update the thumbnail. What else we got? But yeah, Smith. I mean, I'm home. I probably have to go. I have a couple
You made
things
it.
going on. I made it. I gotta cook dinner and yada 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 yawn. But yeah, I don't know. Joker hour while I drive is kind of nice because we can utilize that hour. It is a little bit dangerous though because Miami drivers and I'm on the most dangerous highway. So maybe not the best time, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
Like how
What
that
else?
that one guy was just honking super loud, and everyone thought you were having road rage, but it's just actually just some random Miami guy just super pissed off at his life. That was sick. We get to
Yeah,
interact with traffic, dude. We're all at home working, and You just get to hear Miami traffic. There's no where else can you find that on a podcast?
Dude, no, it was definitely fun. I think it's a good convo. I think people need to think more. I mean, I definitely do, but I think more about the future and like what's the plan for this. I think there's a lot of copium, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, I just hold it till it triples or whatever. But it's like it's not really thoughtful, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then also like you want to win, you know. You don't you shouldn't care so much what people think. You should care about what your goals are, you know. So what are your goals? Like what do you want? I want an island. Um,
Yeah, but it's also like kind of we kind of close out on this, but that kind of brought an idea to my head. People don't know what they want until it's fed to them too. So it's like us talking about like, oh, if you have a 200K collection, you should move that into an investment property that makes you money while you sleep. But then there's
mhm.
probably people that just inherited a lot of money or came into it and they don't even know the first thing about acquiring a property and don't even know that that's what they would want. Um, so it's also hard to tell people to sit down and think critically if they don't have all the information. It's like Dan being like, why don't you do this with your buckets? Why don't you file your taxes this way? All this stuff. And it's like, I mean, me personally, when I was listening to Dan and trying to learn about how to optimize my taxes, I was like, I've never heard any of this shit. And I'm 26 years old. Like 2 years ago when he
Absolutely.
was talking about that, I was like, what the hell is going on? I didn't know you could claim cash basis and do all this to help your taxes and everything. Like, so saying that there's other things that are better than Pokemon, I feel like a lot of people in the space don't even know what that thing is for themselves. So
Yeah,
they're just
absolutely.
they're just choosing Pokemon right now. So just kind of had
Yeah,
that little thought.
no, that's a good point. That's a good thought. Like, there's people in the chat right now who with before 2025 will have sold their entire collection and moved on to stamps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or to some other shit, or to like, I don't know, posters or something. But anyway, just food for thought for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the streamy. Hit the like,
Yep.
hit the sub, follow me, follow him. You know how we give it up. Jake Smith, shut her down.
Let's shut her down. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
All right, y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
Join the Discord.
Are we live?
Are you live?